Hello everyone. Today I'm doing an experiment and I'm going to try to grow potatoes on these 5-gallon buckets. I have grown potatoes in grow bags last year and they did great, but I have an abundance of these buckets this year. Someone just gave me tons of them that I could use, so I'm gonna go ahead and use this little space that I have here in the plot to make an experiment and see how the potatoes will do in them. I have some potatoes here that I have actually just get some eyes. Those are actually, I bought these at the farmer's market, and these ones are from the regular grocery store. They're organic, so they did all sprout. But there are different colors in here, but I do not know the variety. But I think it will be a fun experiment anyway, so I'm gonna start with these really big ones here. I believe those are purple inside. There's like this little potato monster looking here. They have been in storage for about a few months. I bought them in the winter and I let them there on purpose to see if they would get some eyes. They did. They're starting to get a bit soft now, so I want to make sure that I go ahead and plant them. But last year I planted one potato in a 5-gallon grow bag, which it looks big, smaller than this. And I got 21 potatoes out of it, I think. So for this size pot, I usually put about 3 potatoes inside, but it will depend on how many potatoes you want to get. If you want bigger potatoes but fewer potatoes, it will do 1 per pot. That way you would allow them to get bigger, but I prefer to eat them smaller. I think they're tastier, so I am going to go ahead and put about 3 per pot here. So let me show you the soil first. So I have filled them kind of low because what's going to happen, they're going to send this stem, this shoot, and once they keep growing, I'm going to keep adding more dirt into it, and the potatoes itself from the roots are going to come from the nodes that grow along. So it's a good practice to plant the potatoes very deep so they'll have a lot of space to go up and produce a lot of potatoes in the roots. So as you see, I put the first one here. I just put enough potting soil. I'm using regular potting soil in here just to cover a little bit of the bottom and get them kind of standing. You want the eyes facing up, and that will cover slightly with the soil that I already have here. This could be enough. If you want to do 2 potatoes in here, would be great too, but I'm gonna go ahead and do 3 because I really don't mind getting smaller potatoes. So one more. This one is an extra bucket just with more dirt. Then my soil is a bit extra wet because it rained recently and it got a little wet, so I am not watering this after I'm planting. But the standard is after you plant anything, you usually water, but since my soil is almost kind of soaked, I don't want to oversaturate it with water anymore, so I think this is enough. And cover a little bit more to cover these eyes. They're pretty big. Usually the seed potatoes you get in the store, they come with a bit smaller eyes. Those have just been in storage for a bit too long, so they got a little bit extra large. So one is done and I got a few extra to go. I'm going to put this one right here, and I'm going to plant all of those buckets with these potatoes here too. And since I don't know what they are, I'm actually not labeling them. I can tell they're different colors, but I don't mind having a little surprise. So I'm just gonna call these a mixed color potatoes. I actually might add some soil amendment to this. I don't have it here with me now, but once I come and start topping these potatoes off after they sprout and have some green growth, I might add some fish meal. I just got this organic fish and bone meal, I believe. It's very rich in phosphorus and it helps with root development and flowering, so it's supposed to help with very prolific harvest. So let's see how that's going to do. I meant to bring it with me and I forgot, so I'm going to just try to do it when it's time to top dress them. Oh, there's a potato in here. There's not. So some of these guys here are looking a bit moldy. You see this? Definitely not using this one over here, but I only want to use the ones now that are looking good and maybe not as soft, so I'm going to pick a few here. That was it, and now I'm gonna check back in a few weeks and we'll see how they will do. And as soon as I see them sprouting, they'll probably get up to here. We'll see. I'll keep showing you guys. I will keep adding soil. Eventually I'll have soil all the way up to here and those plants are going to grow big. Now it's mid-April, so we'll see how long it will take for me to be able to harvest them. Actually, there is one more thing I'm going to do. So I am in Queens, New York City, and I don't come to this plot as much, maybe twice a week. So there's a lot of animals that come here. The squirrels that come here all the time, especially this time of the year, the spring. They're digging like crazy. So they tend to kind of damage the seedlings, and I'm actually afraid they're going to dig for these potatoes and try to eat them because it's just caught. a few of them eating my peas in my backyard. So to prevent that, I am going to add something to protect those buckets. This wire here, I know it's not very safe because it's not cut properly, but I am not using it right now, so I'm gonna cover the spots until they sprout with this, so nothing will go there and try to eat these potatoes or snip off the seedlings when they're coming out. Okay, so there they are, all protected, and let's hope for the best. I'll make sure to keep posting more updates along the way. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.